So this is a way to make a drone with spinning rotors or helicopter with spinning rotor um, without having to hand animate the rotation of the props. We're going to use the physics constraint to do that. So what I've done is I've constructed a quick, base that I'm using for my drone mock-up, and I've also made a little rotor blade thing that I'm going to use. So the first thing I want to do is come up here to the Add Constraint button, click on that. It'll open the constraint panel, and I'm going to click and drag the hinge, which is the first one, right onto my rotor and drop it on there. Okay, now I want it to be exactly centered. So I'll make sure I have that hinge selected, and you'll see it over here because you'll see the red and the green, um, and it will say constraint up here. And then I'm going to click on the Align tool up in the toolbar and click on the rotor. And then it will pop up the alignment panel, and I want to align on X and align on Y. And the Z, I'm going to leave it sitting on top. That's just fine. And you can align by the pivot is fine because the pivot is on the bottom of the rotor. And so I'm going to say OK on that. All right, now what I want to do is go ahead and just position the rotor where I want it. So I will use the transform gizmo, which is up here. You can select it or just press W, and then I'm going to move it into place, and right there looks good. And then I'm going to go ahead and make the other ones as well. So and you have to do this before you start attaching things together. So if you hold down Control, you can drag a copy of the rotor, and the hinge will be copied with it. So I'm going to pull this over here and put on that one, and then another one. I'm holding down Control, and then I drag off a copy. And one more. All right. Now when I have all those, I need to again select my hinge. So I'll select the hinge on the first one. Come on. Sometimes helps to zoom in. There I go. I've got the hinge now. And see, it shows this red box where that indicates it's attached to the rotor. And then we want to pick a target for it. Right now it's just the world, but we want to have the target be the body of the drone, so we'll stick to it. So I'm going to say pick target, and I'm going to click on the drone. Whoops. Forgot one step. Go back to the drone body, and we need to make it physics and kinematic. That means you can animate it and it will have physics. And you can just leave it a box shape. That's completely fine. You can change it to sphere or capsule or convex hull. But I'm just going to leave it the box for now because that's just fine. We aren't really going to be bumping into things anyway with it. Okay, so now we can go back to the hinge, and we can pick the target, and we will pick the drone body. Okay, so now you've seen the drone body is highlighted green, and you'll see here that the target is the cross 2 that I used as part of the drone body there. Okay, and the hinge turns black. So go around on each hinge and pick and do that and connect it to the drone body. And one more. And pick target and attach it to that. Okay, so now we need to make them all turn. And with my hinge still selected here, if I come down to the limit section, I want to press the free so it can rotate without stopping. So it can rotate perpetually. And then in the force down here, I'll say activate, and I'm going to put in a value. Say I'll put in 10. All right, and I guess I could have done that before. I could have set the force value and set it to free before I duplicated them, and then I wouldn't have to go and do this again. But now I have to go and do each one because I forgot. So activate that, and I'm going to say 10, and go back to this one. Set it to free, activate the force, and set it to 10. And last one, select that hinge, oops, set it to free, and activate it, activate the force, and set that to 10. And now, when I press I don't need this open anymore, when I press play, all the props will spin. So of course you probably want them to spin a bit faster for your rotor blades. So let's go and do that on one of them. I'll get into force and I'll set it to 100. Oops, can't go over 2 digits. So 99 is the fastest you can do. Oops, I'm sorry, 50 is the fastest you can do. So now when I hit play, you can see that one is spinning a lot faster and looks like a rotor blade would be. And then what you can do is go ahead and animate the drone. So let's have the drone rise up in the air over a number of frames. And we will go ahead and, oops, I want to select the drone body and then raise it up in the air. And you'll see those didn't move right now, but that's okay. When we go back here and we press play, then they'll all move with it. If you want them to not look like they're falling off like that, what you can do is select each rotor blade. I'm holding down Control to multi-select, and then you can attach or link. I usually attach because then if I save the prop, it will save the attachment with it. So pick attach and then click on the base. Okay, now when I move the base, it will move all those with it. So we'll put it down here and we'll go ahead and animate, and it raises up in the air as it's animating. Okay, so that's a really quick way to make a drone with animated propellers. Hope that's helpful.